An intensity technique is something that you can implement to try to get a little bit more of a stimulus out of the muscle, and the goal is hypertrophy or muscle gain. So it's basically a technique that you use to really fatigue the last bit of the muscle fibers that you're trying to work for that day. So I did some chest, back, legs. It was a hybrid workout, like the ones that you've seen on my channel before. And so I'm going to do some drop sets for the chest. I'm going to do some low, mid incline press, and I'm going to show you 3 different drop set techniques. So there are a bunch of different ways that you can implement drop sets, but usually you want to implement them at the end of whatever heavy stuff you just did. So not necessarily at the end of the workout, but say you're doing chest for the day like we're about to do. You would do like your warm-up exercise, whatever it is, like some push-ups, maybe some flies, and then you would go into your heavy working sets for the day, say heavy dumbbell or barbell press. At the end of that is when you would want to implement your drop sets, and essentially whatever muscle fibers didn't get taxed out during that heavy press, this is your chance to burn out the last little bit of whatever's left in the chest. And then you would go on to your metabolic pump exercise to finish off for the day. So don't implement intensity techniques until you're already at a point where you're plateauing and your diet is on point. You're sleeping 7-8 hours a night. Because this is an intensity technique, it's going to break you down more. So if you're not recovering and if you're not physically prepared for that extra intensity, you're not going to grow more from this, right? Imagine digging a hole in the dirt. If you dig a 6-foot hole and you only put 4 feet of dirt back in that hole, you've still got a 2-foot deficit of tissue recovery that you never filled. You're not going to grow unless you put more than 6 feet of dirt back in that hole. So this technique's going to dig a shit ton of dirt back out of the hole. You need to be able to fill that back up with healthy, good, nutritious calories, lots of food, lots of sleep, to be able to recover from such a brutal technique and then grow subsequently after that. So only implement these if you're physically able and prepared to take on this extra work and if you're recovering appropriately. So I'm just going to show you 3 different drop set techniques. The first one is your traditional drop set. So as the name implies, with a drop set, the idea is you do an exercise with a weight that is challenging, somewhere in the hypertrophy range of 6 to 10 reps roughly. I recommend 6 to 8, 4 to 8, something like that, with a heavy weight. And then you drop the weight and do another set right away. And then you drop the weight again and do another set again. And then you can do up to 2, 3, 4 drop sets. I usually recommend 2 to 3, 4 is pretty intense. A drop set is already an intensity technique. So this isn't for somebody that's like, I just started a gym routine, I'm gonna throw 3 sets of drop sets in. And usually you would only do 1, at most 2 drop sets. I'm gonna do 3 simply because I wanna show you 3 different types. So the first one is a traditional drop set I'm about to do right now. I've got 75-pound power blocks. I'm going to do a set of something like 6, 8, 10 reps until I feel fatigue. I want to go to a point of positive failure. Positive failure is where I can't do any more clean reps. Negative failure would be I actually fail doing a rep. A positive rep failure is when I finish the rep, but I know I couldn't do another one completely with good form. So I'm going to do 1 set until I hit that positive failure point, and I'm going to put the weights down. Power blocks are really easy to adjust. I'm going to drop the weight down. Roughly a good percentage to drop your weight is about 20%. So 75, that'd be 15 pounds. I'm going to drop it down to 55 and then do another set until I hit that positive rep failure point. And then I'm going to go down another 10 to 20%. I'm going to drop it down to 45, do another set until I hit that point, and then drop it down to 35, and then tax it out. And most likely during the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th set, you're only going to get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 reps. There's not going to be very many reps because you've already fatigued the shit out of the muscle during the first set. That's the whole point of a drop set, is getting the last little bit of every muscle fiber completely taxed out. Okay, so we're going to go through this. This is incline bench press. I'm just gonna go to a point of positive failure, drop the weight, about 10-15 seconds rest at the most between, and then switch to another set and just do 2-3 sets that way. Let's see what we got in the tank, baby. One more, one more. Okay, 20% drop. Set number 2. Basically just enough time to take a couple breaths. Another 20% drop. And then one more 20% drop from 45 to 35. Lightweight. Okay, so that is a traditional drop set right there. I think I went 12, 8, 8, 8, something like that. Okay, so that's pretty good. That was a good weight selection for that.